players. We're going to fire off the countdown. 3, 2, 1, pills.
All right, and we have Dawn out.
And Dave is not far after. There's a slight timer discrepancy, but only about 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, so what I can say from Don's board is where's the yellow? It's very deep into his board, and he's gonna need a lot of yellow afterwards. But right now, it's really not that much useful for him.
Yeah, and he's got some opportunities up high for horizontals, which are always painful to see because you always want to take them, but you know you have to take a lot of drop time or you have to build something very high. But he's been whittling that down very well. And actually, Dave also has a lot of buried yellows, so it's really the tale of the same bad Dr. Mario juju right now for both of them.
Yeah, definitely. Both of them just trying to figure out the same situations in different boards. As Dave also has to figure out what to do with those reds that are struggling on the sides of his bottle.
Yeah, and Dave just pulled off a massive, gigantic jumbo sweet tea. Only 99 cents at McDonald's. But we're used to seeing that from Dave Smith. He pulls off as many combos as he can, and as he's said, sometimes he doesn't always know what they're going to be until they actually happen.
Okay, so it makes you wonder how he can probably just sees them, but is not perhaps aware of exactly what's happening. As we can see, Don getting out first from level 8 at a 146.
And Dave just has 3 reds left. They're all pretty high, so he is trying to build up to them, and Doctor's not really being super cooperative. So that is slowing down his game a significant amount and giving Dawn a chance to really get through his top line and open up his board. Dawn does not have a lot of access to blues, but as you can see, he's actively trying to open that up for himself.
Yeah, exactly. That's what was missing on Don's board. Now there's not a lot of yellow, but once again, making sure to have a variety of colors, and that's exactly what you want to have. Just keep it varied, keep possibilities for every kind of pill to have a place to go, and the more you can do that, the more you can move through your levels.
Exactly. And Don has been very, very good about doing that recently. I've specifically noticed from him that if he notices that there's not a specific color that's really available to him, that's his goal, is to work on opening up that specific color so that he can work with it.
Yeah, definitely. It's I was hearing earlier that it was said that this is not really or doesn't look like a very mental game, but there's a lot of things that one has to keep on track of, and that's really the skill that these players have to develop. Just figuring out how to keep your mind in various things, and yeah, just make a good work of all of that. So we see that Dong has to figure out what to do with those yellows and blues that he mismatched, but now he's pretty much set up. He might go for a horizontal for that red that's on the bottom.
Yeah, I think he's potentially broadcast that. Yeah, that's what he's going for. It's just waiting for one. He'll be out at a 350, and Dave is again. Oops, all red. He's got 5 reds left, and Doctor is liking yellow right now for him.
Yeah, but Dave wants to take everything with a big cross, so that's why he's setting up for that on the left side. He really doesn't. He's not losing any time by doing this, given that he has to wait for reds everywhere. So it's basically all that he can do is wait for the red pills, and boom, there it goes.
Yep, drop sweet tea. Dawn is already at 29 viruses, so he's about 15 ahead of Dave right now. So Dave does have a little bit of catching up to do.
Yeah, but Don gets a red surge right now that he needs a lot of blue. Really, that red surge didn't help too much, but to take really just the one virus on that right side, and The rest of it, it's just him trying to figure out what to do.
And he's trying to take those horizontal blues in a horizontal. So that was clogging up probably about half of his board at that point. He's figured that out and cleared all of that. Doesn't have a huge access to yellow, just opened one up, and he's only got 3 of them anyway, so that's not really going to be his priority for clearing. But he is really kind of grooving through this as fast as he can.
Oh yeah, definitely, and he sees the setup for that red, put something on top of that horizontal, given that he saw that there was a yellow coming and everything was going to work out. On the other hand, Dave has a little bit of trouble there with the column 6, but manages to bring that down, takes the drop time, but now he's open most of his border.
Yeah, and he's actually taking a virus lead. It looks like it's probably going to go back and forth for a little bit. But so we have 3 and 2. Dave's just looking for reds. Dawn is looking for a singular red and a singular blue. Got that blue. He's at a 609, and Dave's at a 610.
Into place, and this is the level that matters really, because whoever gets out of here first is going to take this game number 1.
Exactly. It is a 1-level game at this point. So we're just gonna have to see, who gets. Sometimes it's who gets the right RNG. Sometimes it's, are your fingers working right? Which I know with me sometimes that doesn't happen. So I know Dawn does not have a lot of access to blue, so hopefully the doctor decides not to give him a lot of blue. He is getting a lot of yellow at this point, which I'm sure he's pretty happy about. Whereas Dave needs all of the blue ever.
Indeed, but even in spite of Dave needing all of the blue, he's figured out ways of playing his board from every side, and that hasn't really slowed him down a lot. It's gonna be just how he manages to figure out this end game, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's something that that Dave does all the time. That's his play style, is combo heavy. Okay, let's figure out how to deal with this, how to deal with that. So he takes out that. He's down to 1 blue. Dawn is still at 10 viruses. I think Dave's gonna try to take this out horizontally.
Yeah, and though
Dave
Dave
will be
got
out
there
of
a
the
little bit of red surge.
750.
Yeah, that was in spite of a red surge that happened there. Fortunately, it was one of the smaller ones, because boy, that could have made it or broken it for Dave. But it's going to be 1-0 to Dave, as Don's just going to clear this out.
And Dawn is out at an 815. So everyone's gonna reset. A fun fact about these players, Dave Smith plays with a controller on original hardware, and Dawn plays on keyboard. He's actually got a modified keyboard that he uses. So Dawn really representing our keyboard players. They're not a lot, but they really come strong when they do.
Oh, definitely. You saw a few of them already in, say, Arlido and Savage Octagon, and there is Don showing off that controller you were talking about, Darby.
Yeah, he's shown it off in our Discord a couple of times. It's really, really cool to see, and I couldn't play with a keyboard if I tried. So it's always really fun to see how everybody else plays the game and how they play it differently. That's always really interesting to me.
Definitely. As we can see that now both of our players are going, and we saw there Dave going for a setup for a horizontal and then into that vertical that just worked, leaving everything pretty clean in his board. Basically, he has no pills in his board other than the one that are coming in. So that tells you just how efficient Dave has been so far.
Yes, and he's got another drop clear. He loves those drop clears. Working on more doubles. Dawn is he's still working a little bit higher with the majority of his pills than I think he would like. Um, and I know that sometimes that can take some time, but he does seem to be really starting to get into the groove, at least of this level.
Definitely, but Dave just going on a clear of this board. It's just going left and right, and really with great setups. The most, even though he had some drop time here and there, it's just been really nice so far. He's waiting for a blue to bring this down, beautiful, and he's just gonna wait for a couple of blues. But in the meantime, Don has caught up a good amount.
Yeah, Dave out at about a 125. Don's still waiting for a couple of pills that he wants for the perfect setup. Really just waiting on blues at this point. Um, he's gonna take that drop clear. He's out at a 146. And Dawn's level 9 does not have any viruses in row number 1. There's nothing on the bottom of his board.
Yeah,
Um,
that's one of those weird situations where it really depends on how the end game. Right at this point, Dave really spiraled a little bit in that column 5, and he has to figure out a way to play around all of those blue viruses that he's getting. But Dr. Mara is not giving him the right pills for it. As on the other hand, Don has a lot of yellow, and he's trying to figure out a way to clear a lot of that, and that double yellow is going to help a lot.
yeah, he really wants those blues in a combo. He gets them. Um, but he is hung up by a little bit of trash on a couple of his yellows. Um, so he's got to be a little bit creative in his clears um, to try to get everything out.
Oh, that double blue for Dave is going to be very helpful.
And Dave's just looking at 2 more blues that he needs, and he will be out of level 10 at a 528.
And Don is basically at the same pace. He was out at about a 526. So slight margin there for Don, but this is once again neck and neck for level 11.
Yes, and 1 or 2 seconds going into a final level is, at least in my eyes, almost nothing. It can be a good advantage, but you can easily get some rough RNG or anything like that that really just throws a wrench in everything.
Oh yeah, definitely. And both of them still keeping pace with one another. Both of them at 28 viruses at this point. So this is really gonna go down to the very last viruses. Though Don needs a lot of red and it's not coming his way. Now he's getting hit a double, but the search ends there. Fortunately, it restarts, so he can start clearing things in columns 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm. And we can tell by Don's face that he is not happy with some of the vitamins that he's been getting, some of the pills he's been getting. Um, but he's been doing a good job of going around what the doctor has ordered and trying to make his own prescription.
Yeah, definitely. Dave with the setup there, a very interesting setup on the right side. That I'm not sure exactly what pill he's waiting for to bring this down the way he wants to, but it's basically there just for the taking. There you go. Perhaps he was
Now
just
he's just
prioritizing.
waiting for a red. On
Oh,
out at
and
a 717. Dave out at a 722.
all right. So Don just sneaking up there. It looked like Dave had it, but it's Don who just pushing quickly down, manages to take it, and it's going to be 1-1. So we're gonna go into a decider.
Yay, decider! If you have the emote, spam it in chat. We get more free Dr. Mario.
Indeed, that we do. So we're gonna have our players set up back for this, and I mean the way that both of them have been playing, just keeping it so close. This is going to be a banger of a decider. Okay, so we have readies from both of our players.
It was a very creative ready from Dawn. It took me a second to get it.
Yeah,
we have our countdown: 3, 2, 1, pills.
Right, and Davis out of the gate as well as Dawn. So, let's see both of these supports. Dawn has quite a variety. The yellow is starting to lack a little bit. That's what I would argue against on Dave's side. Also, not a lot of yellow, but his board is starting to get very sparse and very much towards the right side.
He had a very good little flip move. I'm not even sure what to call it. To get 3 viruses at once. And I'm not sure if that in column 4 was a misflip, but he's going to underclear and clear out a whole bunch of garbage all at once.
I believe that it was a remnant from a previous setup, but Dave actually saw how to play in columns 5 and 6, how that was going to drop when he had to underclear. So that was good awareness of what was happening all the way down the bottom of his board.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. He gets that sweet tea to get those reds, and now he's actually out of reds on his board.
In the meantime, Dawn trying to figure out how to get to those viruses that are on his right corner. At this point, really a difficult situation because he needs very specific pills in order to manage to work whatever's left there. So this is going to help. This yellow red gonna drop and give him the chance to go for a horizontal and then drop into that red. He realized that it was going to break, but goes for something different. As Dave is out, as well as Dawn, both of them pretty much at the same time.
Both are at 149, so again, this is neck and neck.
I mean, they have been keeping it close with the last levels, but now it's all the way from the beginning. So, as we said, this is going to be really a great match.
Exactly, and I know that as competitors, you don't want it to be close, but as spectators, you want every game to be close.
Oh, definitely.
So for everybody who's watching, I'm sure that this is absolutely riveting because we have 2 good players neck and neck. It's a decider.
It's exactly what you want. Just pure fun left and right. As Dave is already on 15 viruses. Dawn not too far behind with 18, so still keeping it close. Dawn needs a lot of yellow to open up that left side, which he needs as soon as possible. And it seems like the doctor, he's going to give him exactly what he needs, and stops the search just in time so that Dawn can continue playing.
Yeah. Well, now he needs a lot of red to open that up. And Doctor was giving him some reds. We'll see if he continues. Looks like it so far. But Dave is just down to needing reds and blues only.
A double is definitely going to help Dave there, as he is now going to need only a red. And here it is, and he's going to be out at 3:45.
Dawn is closing in. He is going to get out at a 3:49. So again, still neck and neck.
Really, you cannot ask for a game that goes much closer than this one. And the fact that both of them are keeping this close with completely different boards, just amazing, amazing gameplay from both of our players.
Exactly. Dave only has that one yellow that's available and the yellow trash in the next column. Um, so we'll see if that affects him. We'll see if again, if the doctor wants to give him a lot of yellows, wants to prescribe him a lot of yellows. Whereas Dawn has a lot of access to every color, which again is what we want to see. And he's got a lot of he's got a fair amount of horizontal doubles that he can work with. Um, so we'll see if all of that falls into place for him.
Yeah, and he's gonna wait for some of those setups, yeah, just to have still a way to access those blues on the right side. So didn't go for the setup there, and yeah, that's exactly what you have to do when your board is starting to look this sparse. You just have to figure out ways to not block whatever's left farther down ways still.
Dave pulling off a Frank move, as I call it, dropping down all of those viruses, and then he just needs some blues, and he'll be out. Dawn is still. Oh, there he goes. He just fired off that drop combo. He just needs a blue and a red. Well, now a couple of reds, and he'll be out at 552.
Both of these players about 10 seconds from each other. Still not a big lead for either of them. So once again, it comes down to level 11 for both of them. As Dawn needs some yellow in order to just bring this down, opens up all of that left side very quickly, and that's exactly what he needs. As although there's still quite the yellow in that left side.
He needs a lot of yellow everywhere. And then a blue to unblock those reds down at the bottom. And he does all of that with a nice combo there. And down at the bottom of his board, he's got a lot of doubles. Very good. Very good for speed game. You usually want a lot of doubles. You take those out with fewer moves, fewer pills, which ultimately just means you can do it faster.
And in the meantime, Dave, that a situation where his board got pretty rough and the right pills weren't coming around. He's still trying to untangle all of that. You can see that on the left side that it's not as clean as you would like, and there's really not a setup or anything happening there. So just what happens from time to time in those sports.
Yeah, I know he wanted to take the blue in column 4 that's under the 2 yellows. He wants to take that horizontally. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to.
Yeah, it seems like it's well taking longer than he probably was expecting. There it goes, as you
There it
called it,
goes.
clears it. But everything that's left underneath, it's still not too clear what to do. So still quite a situation there, and that's given Don the time to bring this down in single digits. Just the last 2 viruses for him.
Yeah, it really did give Dawn an opportunity to really just go for it. And he's going to be out at 8 minutes flat.
And Dave is not going to be able to bring this out. He has quite a nice setup happening here, but it's not going to be enough. So this is going to be game number 3 for Don, and he's going to be moving on to play the winner of our next match. So well, Don is going to move into Sunday, and we are just going to wait for Dave to finish out this board, so we can move on into the next match, which is going to be PAG 4000 against Paki. So